During more than 5 years, as a housekeeper at the Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey, Victorina Morales has made Donald J. Trump's bed, cleaned his toilet, and dusted his crystal golf trophies. Donald Trump quietly paid $1.4 million in 1998 to settle a class action lawsuit that alleged he stiffed a union pension fund by employing undocumented Polish workers to demolish a department store to make way for Trump Tower. In 2014, Trump's longtime political strategist and friend, Roger Stone, influenced Trump to make immigration a primary talking point. Stone floated the idea of building a wall. Despite Trump's own hiring practices and abusing undocumented workers, as president, Trump was heavily influenced by Stephen Miller, who was the primary architect for the separation of migrant families.
A growing number of church leaders are criticizing President Trump's immigration policies. A prominent Catholic church leader said, quote, some provisions contained in the executive order, such as those focused on the treatment of immigrants and refugees, are deeply troubling and will have negative consequences in their view. Let's bring in now Bishop Mark Seitz. He's the chairman of the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops Committee on Migration. Is the Catholic Church in the United States taking a formal position on President Trump's immigration policies in recent days?
We are. We think we have to speak to many of these policies, which we see as going against some of the basic tenets of our faith, frankly. The fundamental right of every human person that need to be respected, no matter their origin, no matter their situation.
Maritza Delgado entered the U.S. seeking asylum. Her family now awaits a hearing, and every day they wait for this call. Maritza's 18-year-old daughter on the phone, separated from her mother and sisters and detained in California for more than a month.
They haven't told her when she might be able to get out or when she might be able to see her mom again.
The family entered the country with that migrant caravan, legally asking for asylum at a U.S. port of entry. She says gangs tortured and killed her father.
They found him in the field and that he had been decapitated.
A return home, they say, would be certain death.
On Fox News, a discussion on the topic turned toxic during an exchange involving former Trump campaign manager Corey Lewandowski.
Look, I read today about a 10-year-old girl with Down syndrome who was taken from her mother and put in a cage. I read about did you say want to a 10-year-old with Down syndrome being taken from her mother?
What I said is you can pick anything you want out, but the bottom line is very clear.
How dare you?
When you
How
cross
absolutely
the border
dare you,
illegally.
sir?
For this mother from Guatemala, her dream came true Friday when she was reunited with her son. They were separated for a month. Video from the government shows children being held in cages. They are also held in tents and shelters throughout the U.S.
In 2024, after a long negotiated bipartisan effort, a long-awaited immigration bill was introduced into Congress. The immigration bill was largely supported by both parties and contained many of the GOP demands to resolve the immigration issue. Mitt Romney said, "I think the border is a very important issue for Donald Trump. And the fact that he would communicate to Republican senators and Congresspeople that he doesn't want us to solve the border problem because he wants to blame Biden for it is really appalling."
Exclusive video you will only see here, showing a Worcester teenager pinned down in the street by ICE agents. We blurred the video because she is a minor.
Stop! Stop, ma'am! Stop! Stop!
Definitely a chaotic scene on Eureka Street Thursday as Worcester police and ICE agents detained a mother and her 16-year-old daughter. That girl's face slammed into the ground as she was taken into custody. They have not been identified. Worcester police said officers were dispatched to the area for a report of a federal agent surrounded by about 24 people. When police arrived, they say the teen daughter was holding a newborn baby in her arms and standing in front of the ICE vehicle that was trying to leave with their mother inside.
Contrary to Trump's claims that ICE is focusing on violent criminals, data shows that only 10% of the undocumented immigrants arrested by ICE have a violent crime record. Trump is lying to his base, as well as to the rest of America. On July 12, 2025, Trump finally recognized what factual data has shown for years: the undocumented worker is essential for the U.S. economy. He put a pause on raids targeting farmers, hotels, and other leisure businesses. A new Quinnipiac University poll gives Donald Trump poor ratings on trade, immigration, and efforts to end the war in Ukraine. Trump's polling is one of the lowest of any president at this point in the presidency. It is a historic low.
And at least 5 million people joined No King's Day protests Saturday, in the largest day of action against President Trump since his return to office. Protests were held in more than 2,100 cities and towns across the country. In Los Angeles, 200,000 people marched just days after Trump deployed the National Guard and Marines to the city. Protesters in L.A. included former Marine Melvin Hill.
I'm out here because I was willing to die for the things we have in our Constitution. And right now, I think our constitutional rights are being violated, stepped on, trampled on, and disregarded by our president in America.
In Philadelphia, over 100,000 people took to the streets. Major No King's Day protests were also held here in New York and San Diego, Chicago, Seattle, and other communities large and small. In Lyons, Colorado, a town of just 2,100 in the foothills of the Rocky Mountain National Park, hundreds.
Only days after saying that hotels and farmers needed the undocumented workers, Trump reversed his pause on raids in these industries and ordered the continuation of meeting a quota of 3,000 deportations a day. Trump is even trying to change the Constitution of the United States. In January of 2025, he issued an executive order that would eliminate the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, upending more than a century of precedent. On Thursday, however, a federal judge temporarily blocked it after 22 states quickly mounted a legal challenge. Trump wanted to end birthright citizenship. It has been revealed that Trump's own company continues importing foreign workers through legal visa programs to staff its clubs and Trump vineyards. This, despite the fact that Trump called immigrants, quote, vermin.
Cell phone video shows what appears to be federal agents smashing a car window in New Bedford on Monday. Immigration attorney Ondine Sniffen says her clients, 29-year-old Juan Francisco Mendez and his wife, were pulled over, and that they told the agents they were waiting for their attorney to arrive.
Mi abogada viene en camino.
Vamos a esperar a la abogada, nosotros también tenemos derecho, señor.
Video shows agents gesturing for the couple to roll down their windows. When they don't, one agent grabs what appears to be a large tool. Sniffen tells us her clients were told the agents were looking for someone named Antonio.
And I said, well, that's great because your name is not Antonio. So you should be fine. Show them the paperwork that you have and you should be fine. And the agents didn't pay attention to that. These individuals, they have no criminal record. She has lawful status here, as does he.
Están mis hijas esperándolos en la casa. 6 niñas tengo que dependen de nosotros. No vengan porque se los van a llevar a todos.
Guatemala.
No,
¿Qué va a pasar con su consulado? Papá. Papá. Con mi tía por lo menos para que después llegue mi mami. ¿Me puedes abrir la alguien cerró la puerta esa? Que me venga a traer mi tía para llevarla. No, papá.
Voy por aquí, niña.
Papá.
Cuando saquen la comida, ¿verdad?
Ay, no, papá. Ay, no, papá. Voy a llamar a mi tía para que después de comer me venga a recoger el número yo de memoria 34. Ay, no, papá.
¿Dónde quedó su mami? ¿Dónde se quedaron sus papás, su mamá?
Ay, no, papi. Voy a llamarme a mi tía para que me venga a recoger. Ay, no, papi. Y después para que llegue mi mami lo más pronto posible. No, claro, con papá. Claro, con papá.